Alright, I don't care. Alright, so yesterday was about permutations and everybody have a real big problem with it yesterday? Okay, and I think it's great that they separated from combinations and permutations in two different lessons because it can be confusing if you do them together. And after this, you'll eventually get to that point where you'll have to ask yourself, okay, wait a second, is order important or is it not important? So you must memorize which one goes with which. Okay? So combinations is talking about order being not important. And if you just think about the simple example AB and BA, are they the same thing or are they separate? If order is not important, what do you think?
They're separate. They're separate.
They're the same thing if you're talking about order not being important. See how it can get confusing when you start thinking about them together. You must memorize. If AB is the same thing as BA, that means order is not important. That counts as one, not two separate things. If AB is the same as BA, that is one that you count one time. And since we're talking about counting things, you need to make sure you understand whether or not you're doing a combination or a permutation. Now here's the thing. Permutations give us large numbers. Combinations give us small numbers. If you're talking about the same amount of things that you're taking them from. We're going to use the sandwich problem again that we did yesterday, that we did pickles and mustards and lettuce and stuff like that. Okay? Yesterday I was telling you that order was really important, right? And I cared that whether or not you put ketchup on my sandwich first, and then you put pickles, and don't put mustard on before you put the lettuce. Okay, I was just making that up, but my point is we're going to use that same thing because really the order of how you make your sandwich is that important. In general, no, it's not important. So you go to Burger King, you tell them what you want, right? You go to Burger King, you tell them what you want on your sandwich. Do you sit there and say, I want you to first put ketchup on, and then the burger, and then on top of the burger I want my pickles. Don't mix them, I don't want them mixed. And you don't do that, right? Okay,
What if I got a burger, but I get chicken?
okay, chicken. Whatever.
If I was that.
Barbecue sauce, alright, whatever you get. My point is, when you go to the drive-thru, you don't get to tell them that. The person in the back doesn't care what you said. They're going to put it on in any order they want, right? Alright, so if I say ketchup and mustard, and they put mustard and then ketchup, that's still the same thing. It only counts as one, but a permutation, that would count as two. You see? Permutations is going to have more, a lot more than combinations. So when we're dealing with combinations, we're dealing with something that's very, very, well, not very small, but a lot smaller than permutations. Okay, moving on. Okay, so there's that part. Let's leave it like this. All right, so example one is you have 3 letters, and how many ways, if you're taking them 2 at a time, how many different ways can you do that now? 2 at a time, that means AB and BA are the same thing. Let's go back to yesterday on a permutation, okay, and say order is important. So yesterday, this is your problem. You got 3 letters, A, B, and C, and you're going to take 2 at a time. What is the permutation of that?
3.
How'd you get it?
3 exclamation whatever. You know, the new form.
Yeah. Tell me what it is.
It's 3 exclamation point over 3 minus 2 exclamation point times 2.
So are you using today's formula or yesterday's?
Today's. Because
No, I want the permutation.
Oh, yesterday?
Yep, yesterday. That's
That'll
what
be
Cameron.
6.
Isn't it n factorial over n minus r?
Yes, I want the answer. Guys.
6.
6. Thank you. So what you're saying today, and what Luke is trying to get us to understand is since A, B, and BA are the same thing, we're going to have a less amount of numbers. So yesterday you came up with 6 for your total amount. Today you're going to have less than that because A, B, and BA are the exact same thing, right? The order is not important at this point. So, let me see if I have that. Those are the 3 possibilities, right? A, B, BC, and AC. Can you think of another possibility, or did I get them all?
That's it.
That's right. That's all there are. When we get to bigger things, we're not gonna write them all out. But there's 3 possibilities. Those are the actual possibilities. Here is your formula. So in a combination, because order is not important, this is the same thing as what we did for P, except this is how we set it up.
Mr. Hines, can you go extension 3005, please?
So we have the total number factorial, just like we did in permutation. We still have the n minus r, just like the permutation. What's different? You're multiplying again on the bottom by r factorial. That's what's different. That's the only thing that's different. Okay? Which means you're dividing by a bigger number than what you did on permutations. That's why you're getting a smaller number. Okay? So, see, we have 3 things. Take them 2 at a time. The 3 goes on the top. N minus r here. And then r factorial. Okay? So 3 times 2 times 1. This is 1 factorial. And 2 factorial 2 times 1. That all goes away. We still have 3, which is what we said it would be. So this is just a simple example to show you that it does work. And to explain the formula to you. Does anybody have any questions on that? Yes?
Can we just use our calculator?
Yes, that's totally fine. Okay, I mean, we're past, I mean, my other classes, absolutely not. Anyway, that's another subject. You guys are past that stuff. We need to be using the technology now. We're going to start getting to the point where we'll get the graphing calculators out and do some stuff.
Wait, you can fill in this information on your calculator?
Yes. It's the, on Luke, on my calculators, it's the PRB button. I'll show it to you in a second. Okay. All right, let's go on. Let's actually look at an example. I think that's what's next. You're sitting there.
Check it, dude. Check it.
Okay, so here's the example: lettuce, pickles, ketchup, mustard, mayo, barbecue, and onions. That's what you get to choose from for your sandwich, whether it be hamburger or chicken.
Nuggets.
Okay?
Yeah, at Burger King, they're
It
called.
doesn't matter, guys. Alright, so here's the point. You're taking 2, you're going to pick 2 from your condiments, or from whatever you can choose to put on your sandwich. You only want 2 things. Now, how many different sandwiches can you make? That's the question. Out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 things, you're taking 2 at a time. Everybody do that calculation. It's a combination because order is not important here.
21?
I'm just, everybody do it. And it says 21. You all figure that out with the calculation. Who needs a calculator? Come. If you want a calculator, come back and get them. I got it back here.
Yeah, I don't know where they did everything.
No, when they're back here, you can't.
How do you do it?
I put 7.
How do you do
PRB. So now we got 7 and 2. Take 2 at a time, right? So you get the number first. PRB button.
Dip it.
Who else needs one?
He said order, but I didn't choose 7.
You use that one? That button? Give me 7 and then 2. That's why it's an error, because you can't do it that way.
No, I have a question.
So if you get two after every single one?
Quiet, please, so I can answer questions. What's your
I
question?
don't know.
On the bottom, when you do the tutorial, I kind of confused on that.
That part?
Yeah.
So you understand this part right
Yeah.
here, up to this part,
Yeah.
right? And then you do this, that's,
I get to do the top or something.
okay, 7 minus 2 is 5 factorial, 5, right?
Yeah.
And there's a factorial, so 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then you have this 2 factorial, 2, 1. This is all multiplication.
So we don't get rid of the 2, 1.
Not for, well, you can only get rid of one of them, right?
So either way, it wouldn't matter.
Yeah, you still have something left over, okay?
But can't you like
Yeah, it
divide this
doesn't
6
matter
by
what
2 and then get rid of the 2?
Yes. Yeah, if you're doing this longhand, which is what we used to have to do, you would definitely reduce before you multiply. Okay, yeah.
I'll do this 7 times 2 factorial, and I'll do this 5 factorial, then I do this 7 times 6
Yeah, that's fine. But then you still need 2 factorial. So everybody get 21. Go on. Alright, so there's 21 different sandwiches.
That's a lot of sandwiches. Not really.
Notice I did it longhand, 42 over 2.
I just did one.
I don't know how to do fractions. Oh, what I was thinking, if I'm going in fractions, can you go?
That's
Go up?
Yeah.
Alright, so here's an example, kind of like what's in your book, I think. I don't remember. This is kind of typical. You have 20 photos that are taken. You have, let's say it's on your Facebook, and you want to pick 2 out of those 20 for something special.
Congratulations.
This is not very large. Okay, order's not important. You don't care, out of the 2 pictures you take, you don't care which one's first. You're just going to take 2 out of the 20 and put them into this page, this special page. Okay? So you know that order's not important at that point. So how many different combinations are there?
No, sorry.
No.
100. It's 100.
Yeah?
Yeah.
190.
Photos.
Is that right? 190 different combinations. You only have 20 pictures. Is that right?
Yeah.
Really?
That's what I got right here. Yeah, 190.
Yeah.
It's amazing that you're right. I can't believe it.
Oh,
right there. Yeah, I can't believe that they tried to do that.
All right. That's really all there is to it, guys.
Can you go? Yeah, bro.
All right. Now, listen to me before we stop this. You must be able to look at a problem and decide whether or not you need to do permutation or combination. You must remember the difference. Because on the test, I am not going to say this is a permutation problem.
Well, this is in my order.
No, it's not going to say that. Well, the sandwich problem, really the order is not important. That's understood. I made it important yesterday on purpose. Okay.
Hey, Mr. Bill. Could you get a the exclamation point, could you get one of those out of a negative?